Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're back with yet another engine video. This is something a little different. This is a early 1900s inboard marine engine. It was made by the, what was it, the American Motor Engine Company? Yeah, American Engine Company. I believe it's out of Detroit, Michigan. And the number is down there. Hopefully you can see that. We can get a better shot of the tag here in a minute. And this is an early two-stroke, single-cylinder, water-cooled inboard marine engine. Not something you see every day, that's for darn sure. And I think it's kind of neat and it would make a good video. So in this video we're going to tear this whole thing apart and see if we can't get it going again. But before we get to that, I guess I should give a little bit of a backstory. I, for a long time, have always found these marine engines really neat. I particularly want one that's a overhead valve 4-cycle one. So you get the push rods and the two valves on the top going like this. They tend to run better and they're just neat to look at. But for $100 I could not say no to this, because the other problem with these marine engines is they usually go for tall money. I was actually driving up to school over the summer, and it was about right when I got up to Worcester that my buddy Rob called me. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, I'm at a yard sale, they got some engines. I was like, okay, cool. I guess it was an estate sale, really. He was out east on Long Island, and first one he shows me is this piece of crap Briggs Model N of sorts that was just missing about everything. And I said, yeah, no, pass. I've got a couple of them. That thing's missing everything. He goes, okay, that's what I figured. But wait, there's this. And he pans down, and he shows me this thing, and I'm like, ooh, now that's more interesting. And I'm like, find out how much they want for them and call me back. And he says, okay, deal. Hangs up. I'm on my way to return a U-Haul trailer, actually. And in my head, I'm like, I just got this feeling. I'm like, they're going to want $100 for that marine engine. Like, I don't know why, I just got this feeling. And sure enough, I get about almost all the way to the U-Haul, and Rob calls me back. I pull over, and he goes, the Briggs they want like 150 for, and I laughed because they don't go for that complete and running. They go for like $50 maybe, and that thing was missing everything. And then he goes, and they want 100 for that boat engine. And I said, okay, get your cash out, and I'll Venmo you now because I need that for $100. Figured worst case, this Schleber carburetor is worth that, if not a bit more, just by itself. So to get the entire engine, which is in good shape, for $100, I think was a pretty good steal. But yeah, Rob grabbed it for me and held it for me for a while. And in the meantime, I started doing some research, and apparently these American Engine Company engines are not common whatsoever. There's a lot of two-stroke marine engines that look just like this. It's a cylinder, a single wheel, the timing lever in the front, water pump off the back, that style carburetor. Not as many have the drip oiler, so that's kind of neat, but they all kind of look the same. However, looking into this specific company, I could only find between 4 and 6 of these on the internet, anywhere. Nobody else really seemed to know much about them. And I was talking to a buddy of mine who goes by Tired Irons on online here, and he's like, yeah, I have one. He sent me a video of it. It actually runs really nice. And he's like, yours is about, I forget if it was the 4th or the 6th. I think it was only the 4th that he's ever seen, and he's been researching them into them for a while. So apparently I got a pretty rare bird on my hands here. And yeah, it's been sitting around the garage here for the last several months while I've been at school, and I've been itching to tinker with it. When we got it, it was stuck, so I've been soaking the cylinder down like crazy. And funnily enough, I was looking at it the other day, and it would move just a little bit back and forth. No, more, less than that. It would wiggle back and forth just a touch. And I was looking at it closer, and I saw that it was actually this joint that was moving a little bit. Everything else would turn a little bit, and this wouldn't. So just a couple minutes before the video here, just for shits and giggles, I went ahead and popped this coupling looser here, just undid this bolt a little bit and whacked on it a couple times, and sure enough, it broke free. And now the engine actually turns over, and actually has compression too. So yeah, that was a win. I'm sure soaking down the cylinder didn't do any harm, but I think the entire time it was just this water pump that was stuck, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's on these neat little skids, which I'm sure will not do enough to hold these down, because these tend to run pretty wild and bounce all over the place. But yeah, it's got a couple repairs, it looks like. It looks like it's got It's been welded there down to about here. This looks like it's been repaired. That might be a crack, not entirely sure. Hopefully if it is, it's not too bad. The problem you have with these marine engines, and the reason they become so uncommon, is if they were used in salt water, the inside of this is trashed. However, given that this is in as good of a shape as it is, I'm going to assume it was freshwater and it was just a freeze crack at one point here and up here. But we'll see. But yeah, anyways, either way, I'm very excited to own one of these, even though it's not a 4-cycle just yet. It's a good start, and I think it's neat to own one. And like I said, for the price, I couldn't go wrong. So I think in this video, we're going to tear it all apart. Not that there's much to tear apart, but just want to take it all apart. You know, pull the piston out, check the rod, check all the bearings, clean out all this grease that's probably in here, make sure that's all good. Check all these gaskets, check the water pump, get everything lubed up, because this thing's obviously been sitting for quite some time. Oh, it's a really neat old spark plug too. I forgot to show that. Get a load of this thing. It's a hell of a plug. But yeah, either way, I want to tear it all apart like I usually do. Go through everything, clean everything up, and then hopefully we can slap this back together and get her to fire off tonight, which would be pretty darn neat. So I think as per usual, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys up on the tripod, throw the camera in time-lapse mode, and let's tear this thing apart and see what we can find. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so just like that, she's all torn down. Everything looks to be in pretty darn good shape. That's actually full of old oil, like really old oil. It's got that old oil smell. Crank looks pretty good, so pretty darn happy with that. Piston's in good shape. It's actually double stacked rings in all of these, so I wonder if somebody's been in here or if that's original. But I kind of doubt it. I feel like this would have just 3 big rings. It's got this little spring thing on the wrist pin there. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Got the big barrier on the top because it's 2-stroke. It's got this neat little oil tube down the side too, which is kind of neat. And then another neat feature is that the big end of the rod's on a pivot. So you just clamp down the one side. All the Babbitt looks really good to me. We'll clean it up just a touch with a little Scotch-Brite, and otherwise it seems to be in really good shape there. The grease cups are full of some really old grease, so we're definitely going to clean them out and put all this stuff through the ultrasonic. But this thing has definitely been sitting for quite some time. Spins nice and free now though, so that's good. This is a little pitted. We're going to have to clean that up best we can so it doesn't eat the brass up on this water pump eccentric. And then honestly, I think the worst part about this, knock on wood, is going to be the water pump. This was put away a little wet. I'm going to have to clean that up, and then probably have to dive into this a little deeper because I think there's probably check valves in here which are completely stuck. But yeah, it's in all right shape. Hopefully it will work. Nothing to the oiler there. Carburetor I haven't dove into yet. It had some weird, it kind of came apart weird. There's a piece still on the engine. There's some like spring-loaded valve thing that goes on here. But we'll have to mess with that later. Hopefully it's not too gummy on the inside. And then the cylinder, the water jacket seems like it's full of rust, so we're going to blow that out with the air compressor and get 9,000 rust particulates in my eye. Bore looks good too. Nothing too major in there, I don't think. Don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's covered in the oil and stuff that I was soaking it with. We'll clear that out a little bit. Just looks a little glazed, but honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to touch it. I don't really have a way to do it even if I wanted to. There's your intake port there. And it's kind of neat. You can see all the ports up top there for the exhaust and whatnot. I guess that would be exhaust and intake. I don't know. I don't work on too much two-stroke stuff, so a little bit foreign to me, but yeah, overall looks like everything's in good shape, just needs cleaned up. So I think what we're going to do here is I'm completely out of all my solvents and penetrant sprays, and all this needs to soak in the ultrasonic cleaner. So I think we're going to kill two birds with one stone here, and I'm going to scrape all this stuff out and get it soaking, and then in the meantime I'm going to run to the hardware store, Home Depot, and get some sprays we're going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and start clearing this stuff out, and we'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so decided to skip a step or two here, and we're not going to pull the carburetor apart until I'm sure that it's not going to work. So I went ahead and just hooked the fuel line up, as you can see, to a little tank there. Got the drip boiler back on, and that actually seems to be dripping. So we're going to attempt a start here and see what happens. I just pulled the plug out, double checked the gap, and dribbled a little fuel down the cylinder. I'm going to tickle this. Big gas coming out of there. That's on. Timing somewhere in the middle. Here we go. Oh, she's definitely flooded. We're going to set the throttle closer to max. Trying. Ooh, got something. It's trying. Lost the wire, I think. That's freaking great. I love that. Oh, we lost the ground. Hell yeah! Pretty darn happy with that. Sweet. She might need a muffler though. It's a touch loud. Alright, so I've gotten it tuned in a little bit, and seems to be running pretty happily. Nice thing is it's not bouncing around like crazy like a lot of it do. The water pump's just going. I also plumbed in some fittings, top and bottom here, so got some cooling water going through it. I don't know if you can see through the steam. There's water coming out of there. Got this big pipe on it here just to get the exhaust out. I had to put a muffler because this thing's got a hell of a bark to it, and it was literally echoing off the hills. Probably annoying the hell out of my neighbors. But yeah, if it keeps running like that, I'm pretty damn happy. That seems like a nice speed, and it seems pretty consistent. Just misses every once in a while like that. But again, this is like its first time really running in probably 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So yeah, pretty darn happy with that. Next step I want to do is I want to build better skids, and I want to make I think I'm going to make a mini screen cooler out of this galvanized garbage pail here. I think that will be really neat. Put that off the back of the skid, mount some sort of gas tank to it, and then there we go. But yeah, pretty darn happy with that. A little footage of it running here while the camera runs out of memory. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. So if you like what you see, feel free to hit those little like and subscribe buttons. I'd appreciate that. By all means, leave a comment if you have one. And I'll see you guys in the next one.